Okay, so imagine an island floating in the narrow Strait of Hormuz that honestly feels like it was ripped from the pages of a science fiction novel. That's Qeshm. It's a UNESCO Global Geopark where nature has been playing sculptor for millions of years, carving these absolute masterpieces out of nothing but salt and stone.
While everyone's looking at the shiny, futuristic towers of nearby Dubai, Qeshm has stayed raw, real, and kind of hidden from the world. It's a trip to a place that feels completely untouched by modern time. And today, we're going to dive into its myths, its landscapes, and its incredible resilient culture. So our first stop is a place where the line between a good story and hard science gets beautifully blurry. We're heading into the Valley of the Stars, a geological wonderland that has totally captivated the local imagination for centuries.
So you have two very different stories trying to explain this place. The local legend, it says a star literally fell out of the sky and crashed right here, blasting the ground into all these surreal shapes. Now geologists, of course, they have a different take. They say it's millions of years of wind and rain doing the carving. But I'm telling you, when you're actually standing there among these things, the legend just feels right.
And it's not just what you see here, it's what you hear. The wind whistles through these rock spires and makes these eerie, haunting sounds that people once thought were the whispers of ghosts. And then, just a short trip away, you've got Chahkooh Canyon. It's a maze, really, and the walls are dotted with these natural pockets that people have used for centuries to store fresh rainwater. I mean, talk about ingenuity. That's life's most precious resource in a desert.
All right, let's leave the sun-baked canyons behind. We're now going deep inside the island to explore something even more surreal, a glittering underground world made almost entirely of pure salt. We're talking about the Namakdan cave system, and get this, it holds the world record for the longest salt cave on the planet. As you make your way through its chambers, you're not surrounded by normal rock, but by these incredible veins of salt that have literally pushed their way up from deep within the earth.
So, how in the world does something like this even happen? Well, these things called salt domes are super rare. Basically, under incredible pressure, deep underground, the salt starts to act like a very, very slow-moving liquid. It forces its way up, creating what you can only describe as glaciers of salt. They even glow in these amazing shades of white, red, and sometimes purple. It's like taking a journey to the glittering core of the island itself.
After trekking through dry canyons and salt caves, I think the absolute last thing you'd expect to find on Qeshm is a green, thriving forest. But this island is just full of surprises, and this next one might be the biggest of all.
And this is the real puzzle, right? We're in a hot, dry place, surrounded by salt. So how is it even possible for a dense, green forest to not just survive, but actually thrive in water that would kill pretty much any other plant on Earth? Well, the answer is just a flat-out biological miracle. This is the Hara Mangrove forest. These trees have actually evolved to live directly in salt water. During high tide, the entire forest floor goes underwater, and it makes it look like the whole ecosystem is just floating on the sea. It's a critical sanctuary for birds like herons and flamingos. It's really the lungs of the island.
The wonders of Qeshm aren't just what nature built. They're also human. The island is home to a culture that's been thriving for centuries, shaped by the sea, the trade winds, and just this remarkable spirit of creativity.
The people here are called the Bandari, which means people of the port, and their identity is this rich tapestry woven from centuries of maritime trade. It's a true fusion culture, a mix of Persian, Arab, and African influences. You can hear it in their music, which combines these haunting Persian melodies with lively African rhythms, and you can definitely taste it in their spicy seafood dishes.
Just look at the skyline in the port of Laft. You see those towers? They're called bajirs, and they are basically one of the world's first and most sustainable forms of air conditioning. They're designed to catch the breeze way up high, funnel that cool air down into the homes, and push the warm air out. It's brilliant, ancient engineering that still works perfectly.
You'll also see women wearing these incredibly detailed, colorful masks. They're called borja. It's a living tradition that's totally unique to this part of the world. And they're not just for show. Sure, they protect the skin from that intense sun, but they also have deep cultural meaning and can even show a person's social status in the community.
And you just can't talk about Qeshm's culture without talking about its shipyards. For 1,000 years, the Bandari people have been building these huge wooden boats called lenges completely by hand. And what's truly mind-blowing? There are no blueprints. None.
All of the knowledge is passed down verbally, from father to son, generation after generation.
This craft is so special, so important to the history of trade in the Indian Ocean, that UNESCO has actually recognized it as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. That's a testament to a skill that has literally shaped the history of this entire part of the world.
So in the end, that's what Qeshm is, an island of beautiful contradictions. It's a harsh, rugged landscape that hides these lush green forests. It's an ancient land with a culture that feels so alive and so new. It's a place where you can get lost in a canyon in the morning and be sharing a spicy shark curry with a local family by evening.
And that kind of brings us to a final thought. As our world gets more and more connected, and in a lot of ways more and more the same, Qeshm remains this island of mystery. It really makes you wonder, in a world that always wants answers, what's the true value of a place that still has secrets left to tell?